on the slides here. In 1992, he blew up brains of the Western artistic community by building a toilet. I think it was a documenta. So it looked from the outside just like your usual Soviet toilet, but inside, you can see that he brought just everyday elements of the Soviet people's life. And Ilya Kubakov is known for his total installations, as the term that he coined, and he started doing them in the 80s, I believe, once he moved from the Soviet Union. Well, I think he always wanted to move from the Soviet Union, and he was able to do it in the 80s. But before that, like prior, for decades, he's been working inside of this very closed, sealed institution of underground conceptual Russian art. And once he moved, he encountered new possibilities and new challenges. He was able to work with institutions like NADYA and museums, but he encountered the problem, which was people there didn't have the context. So if you and me are working for decades within our apartment, of course we develop our mythology that is deep, goes deep, and we both understand each other without even saying words. So that's how Russian underground artists felt about their work and the shared meaning that they created in the 70s and 80s. So then Kubakov moves to the West, and he understands that he needs to build the world for people to understand what he's saying, and that's what he does. So I think it comes, first of all, from my obsession with total installation and this trickery and humor and self-irony that I find in Kubakov's installations. And second, it comes from my experience. I spent 2 years in jail, and when I was in jail, I promised myself that I'm going to use this experience to share awareness about what is happening behind those closed doors, not just in Russia. Yes, it's a regulation of Russian prison cell, but it goes beyond that. And American prison industrial complex is absolutely horrific, and it should not be here. It's so-called democracy. That's just bizarre to me. And third, I think it came because Donald Trump. It came about because Donald Trump got elected as president. I knew Alex Sloan, the curator at MoCA, by then, and she wanted to do something with me, but one thing is to want to do something, another thing is to be absolutely sure that it's urgent, it needs to happen right here and right now. And she wrote me a letter the next day after Donald Trump got elected, and she said, we absolutely have to do something, and it turned into the police state.
Let's jump around here a little bit, because since you're bringing up the sort of timing of the work, maybe you could talk a little bit about how you feel about what's going on, just happens to be going on right now as you're in the police state. I mean, I know there was a very specific thing going on in LA, and maybe how you feel about it happening, given what's happening in Chicago right now, how that unfolded when you debuted the work.
I think it all starts with dehumanization, and I saw this process happening in my home country. People like me, people who oppose the ruling regime, are step by step turning into non-humans. Those who can be beaten, those who can be poisoned, those who can be thrown in jail, those who can be murdered. And I had a number of friends of mine murdered, including Alexei Navalny, who got poisoned in faraway northern jail. And I guess how the autocracy establishes itself through dehumanizing certain group of people ambiance. The groups don't have to be similar. And seeing how Trump targets immigrants, seeing how inhumanly ICE treats people in Los Angeles and now in Chicago and in other cities, made me think that actually Trump is moving much faster and centralizing his power and othering certain groups of people than Putin was. And I think there is almost like a problem with drawing parallels between Russia and the US, because I think actually in the US things are developing much faster. For Putin it took almost 20 years to arrive to 1922 or 2022 when he made a full-scale invasion of Ukraine and forgot about the last traces of democracy. I think here it could come a bit quicker, but as we discussed before yesterday, I think there's good news that a lot of people think that good art can develop under oppression, and I think right now you are living within this very unique window when the oppression is not too big yet. You still can create. Most likely you're not going to get assassinated for that. Should happen still. But there is a window of opportunities, and but it closes at some point. So Russia was amazing place, believe me or not, for some time where me and my community could create under danger, yes, but we were stimulated by that danger. We were stimulated by the mighty power that you're opposing. But today, it's not possible anymore, and everyone I know is either murdered or jailed or